Hello and welcome to Park Life, the show that makes sure you've got all the information ahead of Saturday's huge match with Oldham Athletic. Last time out, City picked up a 1-1 draw at Stevenage, with of course Ryan Bowman getting his fourth goal for the Grecians. As for Oldham, they picked up a huge 3-2 win over Mansfield Town.
Cross is very deep, it's hung up well, and is it in? It is! And now finding Law, and there is the level up. Ryan Bowman. Taking it out! Oh, it's a stunning effort.
Manager Matt Taylor wants his side to pick up a vital 3 points as they aim to make this season's playoffs.
We've got to match their physicality and their good play and keep their good dynamic attacking players pretty quiet. We've got good players ourselves who can hurt opposition, so it's set up for a good game of football. I expect it to be a tight affair. I expect it to be nervy at times. I'm going to implore the fans and my players just to relax and try and enjoy the occasion, but there's so much riding on it. It's easy to say as opposed to actually doing it. We want a performance, and we obviously want a result as well. It's never as straightforward as that. It's going to be a real tough test, but one we're looking forward to.
Now, of course, midfielder Randall Williams put in a good display at Stevenage on Monday, and he discusses how he settled into the Grecian side.
I've had a tough time putting it in the back of net, but I know it will come eventually.
You've had a bit of time to settle into the club now. How have you taken to it generally so far?
No, it's been really good. Training-wise, developing as a player slowly. Obviously, want to be playing games and stuff like that, but hopefully that will come over time.
What have you made of the team spirit in the dressing room here?
Oh no, boys have been great. Obviously, we know where we are, we know where we want to be, and that's all we got to keep fighting for.
Of course, a huge game on Saturday. How does the dressing room view it against Oldham? We know what we got to do. We got to go at home and get 3 points. There's nothing else matters really. So we're here again with Simon. Simon, first of all, recent form. What have you made of it?
Well, in terms of results, it's been a little bit patchy, hasn't it? And the performance here on Good Friday wasn't the best, but actually I thought it was back to the levels it should be at Stevenage. We were really unfortunate not to get all 3 points from that game. Woodwork denied us on a couple of occasions, the offside flag on another one, and we haven't managed to see that back to see if that was the right decision. So certainly back to our best on Stevenage, and I think overall performances haven't been that bad, so looking forward to this Saturday. One thing I liked against Stevenage was Randall Williams. He really kind of stepped up, didn't he? What do you think of his performance? Yeah, he struggled for game time since he's signed for us, but he had a brilliant game that day. And I think actually when you look at the game as well, it's when he's cut inside, curled one, and it's almost gone in, hit the post. He just seemed to grow in confidence, and every time he thought, hang on a minute, I'll get on the ball and I'll run at these people, and the defenders were scared of him, and we were getting the ball out to him on every occasion, and he did really well against Stevenage. Obviously a huge game this Saturday. How do you see that one? Both teams going for the playoffs? Yeah, both teams going for the playoffs in the fact that Oldham, I think, really know if they don't pick up 3 points, it's going to be curtains in terms of them for their playoff aspirations. Exeter City, you look at it, and if we can pick up 3 points, we go on to 69, and the average points total needed for the playoffs, when you look back over previous seasons, is somewhere around the 70-point mark. So we may be only another point away from getting there, and going to the Forest Green game, that would be a very good position to be in. But it's kind of a winner takes all. I don't think a draw suits either side, because if Exeter City get a draw, we're on 67, and all of a sudden then we've got to go and beat Forest Green in the last game, and perhaps it gives incentive to Newport County, who have got a game in hand, to try and get that position. Oldham know a draw as well doesn't really give them enough chance. So if it's 70 minutes and it happens to be 1-1, I think both sides will just be going for it. So I don't see it being a draw on Saturday. And a few of their danger men, I think Callum Lang is their top scorer at the moment. They've got some dangerous players, haven't they? Yeah, Sam Surridge was a very good player for them in the first half of the season. Obviously he's left, but yeah, I do like the look of Callum Lang as well, and they've got some good attacking players going forward. They've had a very turbulent season, haven't they, Oldham, in terms of Frankie Bunn losing his job shortly after he lost to Exeter. Paul Scholes coming in for his 8-game spell and not doing overly well, and then Pete Wild actually, the manager out of those three you would say has the least experience, has seemed to have managed to do a wonderful job there so far. So a bit of an up and down season. So you have to say that the fact that they managed to still be in with a chance of the playoffs says a lot about the squad they've got. I'm going to test you now. A couple of questions regarding City and Oldham. So October 2011, City picked up a 2-0 win at St James Park against Oldham. Okay. Which 2 former City players started the game for the Latics? Was Daniel Nardiello? I don't think Daniel Nardiello. He's played for a couple of Manchester sides. I'm going to go Daniel Nardiello. Daniel Nardiello, I think, was with City that day, wasn't he? Okay. He was at City. He's from that. He's only because he's from that region, though. I went with him. Quite recent players. 2011. Yeah, the game was 2011 at St James Park. No, you put me on the spot now. To be honest, I don't know. Ruben Reid. Ruben Reid, okay. And Robbie Simpson, yeah. Robbie Simpson, yeah. The second one. Which current Exeter player played for City that day? And it's current player. Current player in Matt Taylor's team. So no, I can't go with Matt. I was going to go with Matt Taylor because obviously Woody wouldn't have been around at that stage. Stump me there again. Mr. Jake Taylor. Mr. Jake Taylor. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And finally, Simon, a score prediction for Saturday? I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Exeter City, but it's going to be around 1-1 around 17 minutes. I think we'll get a goal then. Oldham will push all the men forward. Christie will make a superb save. We'll go up the other end and we'll make it 3-1. And there we have it. And that's all for this week's Park Life. Be sure to join us again.